going to show you my full coverage foundation routine for pale skin. As you can see, I'm really pale right now. Like sometimes I wear fake tan and I'm a little bit less of a ghost. I have no problem with embracing the paste, embracing the pale, embracing fair skin. It's not a bad thing whatsoever. However, sometimes it can be incredibly hard to find the right shade of foundation when you are so pale, and I know there are devices in shops now that can actually tell what shade your skin is and then they'll get the foundation for you. I know that number 7 do that. I've never tried it. I feel like it's a bit overpriced, number 7 foundations, but I do have a couple of products which are absolutely brilliant. They've just always been really good for my skin being as pale as it is, and I wish I'd discovered them sooner, because I find even the lightest shade of so many foundations is just too dark and it actually just turns out looking really orange, and you always get that line. So I've got the foundation, concealer, powder on my skin now. I'll be showing you what I use to get this finish, and I really hope it's helpful. I know it would be helpful for me quite a few years ago when I was like getting my first foundations. They were far too dark and you just don't want to end up looking like an Oompa Loompa just as you're getting into makeup. It's not great. So I hope you enjoy, and yes, I'll get into the tutorial now. So far the only products I have on my face is my moisturiser, and I am using the Simple Kind Skin Replenishing Rich Moisturiser. And currently I'm not actually using any primers, so I'm going to go straight in with my foundation. And the foundation which I think is absolutely awesome for pale skin is Maybelline New York's Fit Me Foundation, and I have mine in the colour 100, and that's called Warm Ivory. And I think the colour of this foundation is one of the best matches I've ever been to a foundation, because I am naturally so pale. I just wish the coverage was a bit better. Using the next product, which is also awesome for pale skin, I am able to get a full coverage finish using this foundation, and the next product, which is of course a concealer, I do manage to end up with a full coverage of makeup. But anyway, let's just get this on. So as you can see, I just dot it around my face using my finger, and right now I'm just using a normal foundation brush, just one of those flat brushes, and I'm pretty sure this is like the cheapest one that Superdrug do. And the formula is quite runny, so it is really nice and easy to move around your skin. It won't get stuck in one area, so yeah, it's really nice and blendable. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all blended out. So that's the first layer all blended out, and as you can see, it has, you know, given me a fair bit of coverage. I'm not sure, yeah, it's definitely a light coverage for me. The actual bottle itself says that it gives in a natural, seamless finish. It doesn't say it is trying to be a full coverage foundation. However, these can sometimes be the best full coverage foundations because you can build them up so much better, whereas a full coverage foundation, I feel you put on one layer, and if you do need to build it up anywhere else, it looks cakey immediately. This is really lovely, lightweight foundation with a decent coverage. So I'm gonna go in now and do a second layer in my sort of problem areas. And when I do a second layer, I like to use one of these, what is this? Like a different kind of face brush, like not one of the flat foundation brushes. I like the ones that dab, so yeah, either this or a sponge I think is good for a second layer, because yeah, a flat foundation brush I think moves the foundation that you've just put perfectly in place around, whereas this will like just stipple on top of what you've already done and won't move things basically. So yeah, I am putting it back all over my face just because I do like a full coverage finish sometimes, most of the time. And that's what I'm going for today anyway, so let's pile it on. Okay, so that's the second layer on, and yeah, that has pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover. So I think I'm happy to move on to my concealer. So the concealer that I'm using will probably be one that you'll all recognise. It's a bit of a cult favourite. It is the Collection 2000. I don't know if they call themselves Collection 2000 anymore, or just Collection, not sure. Collection Lasting Perfection Ultimate Wear Concealer. And I have mine in the colour number 1 Fair. And I do apologise, it is a bit glittery because I took it to a festival. And this concealer is just absolutely wonderful. I heard about it through YouTube, I think. It is just such a good concealer. It's got incredibly high coverage. It's really, the shades they do are really, really good for pale skin. I'm not sure how it fares for the darker skin tones, but if you're fair, you're going to be sorted with this one. Also, the formula, it just applies so smoothly and so silkily, just covers anything, and I've never found it to look cakey, no matter how much I've sometimes had to build it up. Yeah, if you haven't tried this, it's so cheap. I will have the price there because I can't remember how much it was. So my skin is absolutely terrible right now, so once again this has pretty much gone all over my face, but yeah, it does the job, so you'll see. And yeah, I'm just going to be blending this out by patting it with my fingers. I've just always found it the best way to apply concealer. I hope you can tell I've yeah, just tried to do one side of my face. I know I was doing it down there a bit. It just really evens out any uneven skin tone that I had. Yeah, I can't recommend this stuff enough, really. Alright, and there you go. So that is all of my foundation and concealer all done. Always so happy with the results it gives, and I just love how it matches my skin tone. You can just sort of see how it really does match my neck. So at this point you can do your cream contouring. Currently I'm just gonna get it all set and then apply that sort of thing. So yeah, I'll show you now my next item, which I think is a must for anyone out there with really pale skin. It's the powder I'll be using. I've used it in so many of my videos. Yeah, if you do watch my videos, you'll know what's coming. It's just my translucent loose powder, which I just get from one of those bargain beauty stores. In my city it's called Body Care. I'm sure you can find this everywhere, I'm sure. It is the Technic Soft Focus Transparent Loose Powder, and I absolutely love this stuff. Get 20 grams. It's only like $3.99 or $2.99. All of these products, everything I'm using is completely low-end, drugstore, high street, whatever you call it, which I don't think there's anything wrong with whatsoever. I really don't see the point in spending a fortune on makeup which doesn't last that long. You know, I love high quality eyeshadows. That's kind of my weakness. I like MAC eyeshadows and Urban Decay, but foundation and powder and concealer just get low end. So I'm just gonna get this on, and I always just use my duo fiber brush to apply this. The way I do it is just to pat it on. I don't tend to buff it into my skin because I feel like that can move the foundation and concealer and cause your skin to potentially look more cakey. So yeah, just dab it on and just, yeah, do that sort of thing, as you'll see. So there you go. I do use quite a lot, but it is because my skin is naturally quite greasy. So yeah, I usually put that on, do the rest of my makeup, and by the time I've like finished all of my eye makeup and blusher and whatever, I need to put more powder on. I don't know if it's because that might not be the best translucent powder out there, it's probably not, but I still really like it. So that is the basic part of the foundation routine. So yeah, I'll just sort of polish it up by doing some blush and highlight, and then I'll put the rest of my makeup on and yeah, show you sort of the finished result. So the blush and highlight I'm using is by PS. I got this for my full face with Primark makeup video, and I've just kept using it because it's actually really good. And I'm just going to be using the middle shade, I think, yeah, and then of course that one to highlight. And I'm just using an angled brush to apply this, which is not very clean at all. Okay, so I'll just get the rest of my makeup on, eyebrows and eye makeup, and I will be right back. And I'm back. Got the rest of my makeup on, and I really can't express enough yeah, how much I recommend these two products to create. Such a lovely full coverage finish for pale skin. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say that this foundation also says it is for normal to oily skin. So yeah, that's probably why it does match me quite well, because I do have oily skin, but I do still feel like I get a bit dry around my forehead. Yeah, but I really hope this was useful to you. I really enjoyed filming it, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and you enjoyed this video. I'd really appreciate that. Let me know if you have anything that you'd like me to try or any suggestions. It's always welcomed, and I always, yeah, try to respond to everyone, and I really appreciate yeah, all of the requests and things like that. It's really helpful and really lovely to receive. But enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye.